There's a balance within any ecosystem in regard to the movement of the grazers and the browsers within it and the building up of the fertility of that system. When you get a fresh new regrowth of a plant community after being browsed by grazers, those plants as they regrow are busy sending out a lot of exudates into the soil that helps feed the soil organisms in exchange for the services that those soil organisms provide. So they may be mining the soil of nutrients, they may be creating a microorganism barrier around the root zone that prevents harmful bacteria or viruses from attacking the plant, or they might be providing nutrients such as nitrogen to the plant. But a fast regrowth plant community is sending out a lot of those exudates into the soil to support its growth and provide the environment within the soil that's most beneficial to it. And that fast regrowth plant community is best created through the sporadic browsing activity of grazers and browsers that move through that particular landscape. And as they pass through it, the plant community rebounds and regrows and after the impact of those grazers upon it, and puts a lot of those exudates into the soil to help build it up. Also, with the grazers moving through it, they're converting the plant material, which if it was just left to fall off and die and just lie on the surface, a lot of those nutrients would just oxidize into the atmosphere. But instead it's being converted into manures, which are this microorganism rich source of compost, and that compost inoculant is able to be broken down very easily by the soil organisms to be incorporated into a humus in the soil. So that organic matter within the soil helps build the structure and property of the soil in a way that makes it mechanically more rich for agriculture as far as holding water and being more aerated, but also provides a better habitat and a food source for the microorganisms that will provide the fertility and the nutrients to support that whole terrestrial community that's growing out of that soil. So it's the action of the grazers and the browsers through that landscape as far as the regrowth of the soil is twofold. One is the regrowth of the plant community, putting out those exudates, and then the conversion of those plant communities into manures to help build up the organic matter into the soil. And within any ecosystem there's a balance of a diversity of browsers and grazers, so that there's not a particular group of plants within that community that are excessively impacted upon, but the diversity of browsers ensures that a wide variety of the plants are grazed and browsed upon, so you get a regrowth of a more diverse range of plants, and that greater diversity within that community helps stabilize that ecosystem and helps further develop the fertility and productivity of that ecosystem, because there's more species occupying different niches that can provide some beneficial role within the overall stability and productivity of that ecosystem. And as far as creating the kind of agricultural landscapes that we find most productive, incorporating the browsers and the grazers into that system allows us to maintain that kind of mid-successional ecosystem where there's a diversity of habitats, open woodlands, pasture habitats, closed forest habitats, and to maintain all of that diversity of ecosystems in a state which would otherwise all progress into old growth forest. The action of the browsers and grazers are very important to maintain that balance and to convert plant material into manures to build up the fertility of that system.